The first dish Chef Ralph Scamardella ever created was lentils and macaroni. He was 12 years old, and that was in his mother's kitchen. He has come a long way since then.
He's now executive chef and a partner in the Tao Group with 8 restaurants here in New York and in Las Vegas, including the Pan Asian Tao and a newly opened Tao downtown, along with Lavo, an Italian restaurant, and others. Chef Ralph Scamardella, welcome to the dish.
Welcome. Thank you.
This is a pretty extraordinary spread you've laid out here.
Excellent. Yes, a lot of stuff from our trip to Asia, and when we did Tao Downtown, we tried to reinvent the brand and recreate, what was going on in Chinese food in the city and Japanese food. So we went on this huge excursion in Asia. We went to China, Tokyo, Kuala Lumpur, as a matter of fact, and Malaysia. We brought back some of those different dishes.
When you say brought back, I mean, the dish that we're looking at that's right in front of us, our main dish, it's a red snapper. Really brought, I heard a lot of beer was involved in bribing some people to get this recipe.
We had tried it in a restaurant in Hong Kong, and we couldn't get the chef. We tried to bribe the waiter to get us the recipe, and then bribe the chef, and then finally I walked into the kitchen and just offered to buy everybody a beer. Oh, they were looking at it, and they said, okay, sure, and then he just...
Does that happen a lot, that you have to go back to the kitchen and bribe everybody with
usually
beer?
You can look inside and sneak a peek and see ingredients laying around, and you can kind of, knowing technique, you can figure it out, but this was a little bit tough, so he did a good job. Once we paid everybody off...
International culinary espionage.
Listen, that's the best way. Stealing it or trying to find it or have somebody to help you make it. We actually, in Shanghai, we met a crew of chefs that we had hired and brought back to the United States with us to help us open this restaurant. A dumpling chef, a barbecue chef, a wok chef. So it helped
really
us
lends the
grow.
authenticity,
Yes. So it was quite an interesting trip.
If people didn't catch it when they heard your last name, they probably have heard since you started speaking that you're Italian.
Indeed.
So how did you get interested?
Born and raised in Brooklyn.
How did you get interested in this kind of food?
It was just, when you grow up in New York City, you gravitate towards different kinds of food. So even if you're Italian, there's Norwegian food, Japanese food, a lot of Chinese food. So it was always just a passion and something that I really, really liked. And getting involved with the Tao Group, their #1 restaurant was Tao. So we just had taken a sojourn over to Asia and really, really fell in love with it.
Well, we mentioned it when we were introducing you that you started cooking with your mom. Was she really the one who ignited your interest in food?
She was. Not only because she said, if you're always going to eat like this, you got to go work in a restaurant because I can't afford to feed you. But she was, in an Italian family, it's so like any big ethnic family, it's a big, strong passion. And for us, it was a big passion.
Anthony and I have both been to one of your restaurants. He's been to the downtown location. I've been to the midtown location. Yep. And I have to say, what really strikes you when you walk into the restaurant, I mean, you say dinner is theater, and your restaurants really speak to that.
It is. We try to bring the complete package of cool experience, a little bit of vibe, having a great meal, good fun, enjoying yourself, and not really being so austere as, like a 20-course dinner, but really just going there, enjoying yourself, and getting that same experience you would get in any great Asian restaurant, any great restaurant in a really good atmosphere.
One of the things that's interesting about your background is you went to basically a hotel management school, restaurant management school. How important was that, do you think, to running, what you do now?
For me and for, us as a group, it's very important. Not only delivering great guest experience, but running it as a business and understanding what it takes to have longevity, make money, and, really
what does it take to have longevity in the restaurant business? Because it's pretty tough.
First, you got to deliver a great guest experience like we do, and really hit every single item and make sure that every item is perfect every day, from the second you walk in the door to the second you walk back out the door.
So what is the philosophy you have when it comes to how to do that?
My philosophy is just to over-deliver on everything all the time, making sure that you double, triple check everything and making sure that every dish is perfect. We have enough chefs, sous chefs, and managers to make sure that the guest experience is great every day.
And how often do you take these culinary sojourns around the world to do this?
When we're opening a restaurant, we'll do 2 or 3, usually for the year before we do it, but usually once a year we'll get a group of guys. We'll either go to Italy or we'll go to Asia or depending upon the concept that we want to open.
Nice job, by the way.
Yeah,
thank you.
Excellent. I mean, you talk about authenticity. Tell us what we're drinking, because the drink is called...
The Singapore Sling.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got a picture. We were in Singapore walking around. It's about 110 degrees. And we happened upon the Raffles, which is the hotel where it was invented. And we sat at the bar and had 2 or 3 of them in a 100-degree heat. I think we we were finished for the day after them, but they were great.
I can imagine.
They're actually pretty good, though. They go down smooth.
Yeah, they do, and there's a lot of different alcohols in there, too, which you can't notice, which is always a sign of a good thing. Well, as we pass you this dish to get your signature on it, we want to ask you if you could share this dish with anyone, past or present, who would that person be?
Well, first my mother, who had passed away long before I had any kind of success. And there was another guy who helped me really in business in the very beginning, an unknown guy, Artie Cutler, who really gave me one of my first starts.
All right.
And
well,
those
Chef
are the two people.
Ralph Scamardella, thank you so much. And for more on Chef Scamardella and the dish, head to our website at CBS This Morning.